Hi Year 9. So I just wanted to come on and talk to you a little bit about this abstract art project that you've started. You should all have done your research. Thank you to those of you who have sent it because they're all looking brilliant actually. And so I'm really excited about what you do at this next stage. There's kind of two tasks in this week. So the first one is they're both in your sketchbook. You should have received a sketchbook in the post. If you haven't received one, please will you let me or Miss Oldham know and we'll get one out to you as soon as we can. The first thing I want you to do is kind of do a bit of a title page. Now it shouldn't take you very long at all, and I've done mine as a bit of a mind map just so that I can remind myself what I like about abstract art and what I want to concentrate on, because I'm sure you found it when you were researching. It's so huge, like there's so much abstract art, so many different artists, and just people have been, you know, experimenting with abstract art for years and years and years, and even people who aren't abstract artists have got abstract art. So there's all sorts of different things that you can concentrate on. And so I just kind of want to make sure that you are concentrating on the bits that you like, as well as creating just the work that we're asking you to do. So, in mine, I did a mind map. I'll put a picture on the PowerPoint, and I've only done 3 arrows. There's really not a lot of writing on this, but I've just done 3 arrows. One that's artists, one of what I like about abstract art, so going into the kind of specifics, and then what the key principles of abstract art are. So a couple of things just to pick up on. First of all, colour combinations. So interesting colour combinations and thinking about colour is a really important part of abstract art, and there's specific movements within that. So like the Bauhaus movement, where colours really represent different things. So they have certain colours for certain shapes, and they might have, I can't remember which way around it is, but a blue triangle, a red circle and a yellow square. So you really, there's a lot of thought that goes into colour, and they're quite often weird or contrasting colour combinations. So that was one of the things that I really picked up on. The idea of a feeling, which kind of ties into colour as well. So if we think about what's his face is Picasso's blue period, like he went all blue and it became really sad work, and so thinking about what kind of colours mean what to different people. So today I'm dressed like sunshine, and it doesn't go with my ginger hair at all, but I love like oranges and yellows because they make me really happy. They're really happy colours. And then thinking about geometric shapes, and then also I really like artwork that has really nice thick black lines in. So again, thinking about Picasso, just because you studied him last term, when we did the Picasso portraits, we left areas so that they had nice thick black lines. So if you look at here, you've got kind of this hand shape, I suppose, vague hand shape, but it's got really thick lines, and I really like that. And these eyes, I don't know whether you can see that, but yeah, the eyes just there. So that idea of outlining things but simplifying it as well, I really like. And then I've just put some artists down that I like, and they're really different. So you've got people from Jackson Pollock, who's the one who splats stuff everywhere, to Lisa Congdon, who does really kind of detailed little doodles of geometric shapes on top of really nice textured backgrounds. You've got Piet Mondrian, who is that guy who does the very square paintings that just have like 3 or 4 colours on. So different people that I like. So that's your first task, is to kind of do an introductory page in your sketchbook. And then I want you to leave a couple of pages. Now, I didn't do this because I'm an absolute fool, but leave a couple of pages, and then we're moving on to task 2. So, task 2 is to go around your house and find all of the different media that you have at home. Now, I'm really aware that because I'm an art teacher, I've got loads of stuff. I've got paint coming out my ears. But I want you to see what you've got and how you can make different marks, because that's going to be really important when we move on to the next bit, which is the experimentation. And it's really key that you understand and have a reference page what media can do. So I have used pencil, pen, pencil crayon, felt tip, and I've used watercolour paint because I had watercolour at home. Now, I'm really aware that lots of you might not have all of that stuff, so I want you to think outside the box, think what you have got. So you might have a load of makeup, for example, and if you've got like an eyeshadow palette that you can kind of scrape a bit off the top of, or use a makeup brush and take some of the top off and then mix it with water, you've got watercolour. You might have a spice cupboard and there's some turmeric and paprika and all of that sort of stuff inside, and you can make paints out of that. It'll be quite earthy colours, but at least it'll be some paint. If you've got a garden, you could go out into the garden and pick some flowers and see if you can make different inks out of that. If you have got baking ingredients, so you might have food colouring at home, then you can use that instead of watercolour. One of the other things that you can do, especially if you're inspired by Jackson Pollock, is you can use nail varnish. That's really good. So if you've got loads of nail varnishes that you don't use anymore, or you've got a big sister or a parent who doesn't use their nail varnish anymore, you can you might have to thin it out with a bit of nail polish remover, but you can shake those out and kind of splat them, and you can get really interesting textures with that. So it really is about experimenting, and that's what this whole project is about. It's about experimenting with the stuff that you've got at home, but also with how you use media. And that's why we're doing an abstract art project, because we want you to think outside the box, but not be limited by trying to draw a picture of your best mate or trying to draw a perfect leaf. It's not about perfect. It's not at all about perfect. It's about seeing what these different media can do. And then when you do move on to maybe some more traditional drawing, so like we're doing a project on Fantasy Face first. So when you get back, we'll be doing Fantasy Face project, and you'll be drawing faces or flowers or, you know, crazy things. But you'll be able to bring that experimentation that you've done in this project into that project, and it'll make your work so much better and so much more developed, because everything that you do from now goes towards your GCSE. So the more effort you put into this project and the more kind of time you give it, and experimentation is 25% of your marks. So we're really ticking a lot of boxes with this project, and I really want, I'm already excited by the work that's been coming in, and me and Miss Oldham sharing everything as well. So it's really the opportunity for you to kind of have a bit of fun with it and show us what you can do. Anyway, I've rambled on. So task 1, your introductory page. Then leave 2 pages because you can print out your research when we get back into school, and then you're doing a media page. So finding what you can around the house and just labelling it up. The other thing that you can think about doing is collecting papers and random bits of things. So like I've got some of this netting, which is just the netting from an onion sack. So there's one that I have not cut up yet. You might have some tissue paper or packaging. So I've got this that came wrapped around something from IKEA that I've already ripped up. I've got some newspaper. I have just a box of stuff. So you might have envelopes. I've even kept, you know, I keep all sorts, like a piece of ripped black paper. I've got some, this is some papers from my toilet roll. Okay, so it comes wrapped in paper, which I keep. So just start collecting and making a little collection of stuff. You'll look like a mad person, but it's lockdown. Everyone's going mad. Okay, so I'm really excited to see what you come up with. Have fun with it, experiment, and yeah, good luck.